Leadership is often imagined as a role, position, a responsibility that belongs to certain people and not others, a title that grants authority, a structure that organizes influence. Because leadership is often associated with hierarchy, it can begin to feel like something separate from everyday life, something that must be earned, something that must be proven, something that must be maintained, something that must be performed consistently in order to remain valid. But influence is already occurring constantly. Decisions influence direction. Communication influences understanding. Behavior influences environment. Attention influences what develops. Participation influences outcomes. Leadership is not always formal. Leadership often appears quietly, through clarity, through consistency, through stability, through responsiveness, through willingness to participate meaningfully. Leadership without identity allows influence to occur naturally, without needing to adopt a persona, without needing to appear authoritative, without needing to demonstrate control, without needing to reinforce position. Identity often introduces pressure. Pressure to maintain consistency of image. Pressure to demonstrate certainty. Pressure to avoid vulnerability. Pressure to appear decisive at all times. Pressure to preserve authority. But authority that requires constant reinforcement often creates distance. Distance can reduce communication. Reduced communication reduces information. Reduced information reduces adaptability. Reduced adaptability limits effectiveness. Leadership without identity allows information to flow more freely. Freely flowing information improves decision-making. Improved decision-making strengthens direction. Direction improves coordination. Coordination supports shared progress. Shared progress strengthens trust. Trust strengthens cooperation. Cooperation strengthens collective intelligence. Collective intelligence improves outcomes. Leadership becomes part of participation rather than separate from it. Participation allows responsiveness. Responsiveness allows adaptation. Adaptation improves effectiveness. Effectiveness reinforces trust. Trust supports continued cooperation. Identity often attempts to define leadership through fixed characteristics: confident, decisive, certain, strong, unwavering. But real conditions often require flexibility. Listening, adjusting, learning, collaborating, reconsidering, refining direction. Leadership without identity allows these qualities to function without contradiction. Confidence does not exclude curiosity. Clarity does not exclude openness. Direction does not exclude adaptation. Strength does not exclude learning. Influence does not exclude collaboration. Leadership without identity allows intelligence to respond to context rather than conform to expectation. Context changes. Conditions evolve. New information appears. Understanding develops. Leadership adapts accordingly. Adaptable leadership improves responsiveness. Responsiveness improves effectiveness. Effectiveness strengthens trust. Trust strengthens cooperation. Cooperation strengthens shared progress. Leadership often appears through simple reliability, through doing what is workable, through communicating clearly, through participating consistently, through remaining available to what is needed. Reliability builds trust. Trust supports coordination. Coordination improves efficiency. Efficiency improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce confidence. Confidence supports continued participation. Leadership without identity allows influence to remain fluid. Fluid influence adjusts to circumstances. Circumstances vary. Different situations require different responses. Some situations require decisiveness. Some require patience. Some require listening. Some require initiative. Some require collaboration. Some require support. Leadership becomes the ability to respond appropriately rather than perform consistently. Appropriate response improves effectiveness. Effectiveness improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce trust. Trust supports cooperation. Cooperation supports shared progress. Identity often attempts to maintain consistency even when conditions change. But rigid consistency can reduce responsiveness. Reduced responsiveness limits adaptability. Limited adaptability reduces effectiveness. Leadership without identity allows responsiveness to remain primary. Responsiveness supports learning. Learning improves understanding. Understanding improves decision-making. Decision-making improves direction. Direction improves coordination. Coordination supports progress. Leadership without identity allows uncertainty to be acknowledged without weakening effectiveness. Acknowledging uncertainty can improve decision-making because available information is recognized clearly. Clear recognition improves planning. Improved planning supports better outcomes. Outcomes reinforce trust. Trust strengthens cooperation. Cooperation strengthens shared progress. Leadership often involves participating in situations where outcomes are not fully predictable. Predictability is limited. Adaptability becomes essential. Adaptability improves resilience. Resilience supports continued participation. Participation supports continued learning. Learning improves effectiveness. Effectiveness improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce confidence. Confidence supports continued participation. Leadership becomes less about maintaining image and more about maintaining responsiveness. Responsiveness allows intelligence to function fully. Fully functioning intelligence improves decision-making. Improved decision-making supports meaningful direction. Meaningful direction improves participation. Participation strengthens collaboration. Collaboration strengthens collective intelligence. Collective intelligence improves outcomes. Leadership without identity allows communication to remain open. Open communication improves information flow. Improved information flow improves coordination. Coordination improves efficiency. Efficiency improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce trust. Trust supports continued collaboration. Leadership often involves recognizing when others have useful insight. Useful insight improves decision-making. Improved decision-making improves direction. Direction improves effectiveness. Effectiveness strengthens trust. Trust strengthens cooperation. Cooperation strengthens shared progress. Leadership without identity allows contribution from many sources. Many perspectives improve understanding. Improved understanding improves decision-making. Decision-making improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce trust. Trust supports continued participation. Leadership becomes less centralized and more distributed. Distributed intelligence improves adaptability. Adaptability improves resilience. Resilience supports continued progress. Leadership without identity allows responsibility to be shared appropriately. Shared responsibility improves sustainability. Sustainability supports long-term participation. Long-term participation strengthens development. Development strengthens capability. Capability expands possibility. Possibility supports continued progress. Leadership does not require control over every variable. Control over every variable is rarely possible. Responsiveness to changing variables improves effectiveness. Effectiveness improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce confidence. Confidence supports continued participation. Leadership without identity allows influence to remain grounded. Grounded influence improves stability. Stability supports coordination. Coordination supports shared progress. Shared progress strengthens trust. Trust strengthens cooperation. Cooperation strengthens collective intelligence. Collective intelligence improves outcomes. Leadership becomes less about directing others and more about supporting clarity. Clarity improves understanding. Understanding improves coordination. Coordination improves efficiency. Efficiency improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce trust. Trust supports continued collaboration. Leadership often appears through example, through participation, through consistency, through responsiveness, through willingness to adjust, through willingness to continue learning. Learning strengthens capability. Capability improves effectiveness. Effectiveness improves outcomes. Outcomes reinforce confidence. Confidence supports continued participation. Leadership without identity allows participation to remain primary. Participation allows learning. Learning improves understanding. Understanding improves responsiveness. Responsiveness improves effectiveness. Effectiveness strengthens progress. Progress reinforces trust. Trust supports continued participation. Leadership continues expressing itself naturally through involvement in life, not because identity requires it, but because participation allows influence to occur. Influence continues through communication, through action, through attention, through collaboration, through contribution. Leadership remains present as part of living intelligently. Participation is enough, and participation is already happening.